Greetings from the Oracle of the Rushing Winds. I'm your Oracle of Swords with your daily for Mercury's day. Give us this day our daily for the 14th of May, born on a Wednesday. Wow. As always, I'm ever so grateful to connect once again. I ask our guides of the highest, most brilliant, divine white light protect us, protect me as I interpret for you. We do have the wild unknown, as I love to get into routines and then break them all apart. This is so fun for me. Thank you for being here. Wow, all my grubby hands are all over this mic. Okay, one animal spirit for the collective. Give us this day our daily. The golden egg, a lot of heart-centered activity, and then we have the teacher, the cobra, at the bottom of the animal spirit here. Very cool, but very sensitive. The moon is currently in Sag, and we are looking back at a lot of the last few. We are looking back at the last 4 or 5 months. And so we can also inquire from the oracle, from the archetypes, the wild unknown archetypes. Yes, if you feel it has developed, if you feel the last 4 months have developed for you, alongside you, have you developed at all? Were there any developments? So we have the animal, the shaman, the shadow, and the river all trying to come out. I hope that y'all had a wonderful weekend with the full moon. It's likely still affecting. So the offering wants to come out. It seems like a lot of you are, it may not even be like love relationships, but that could be at the top of the mind, and then it trickles down from that point. Okay, wow, the cave. And then we have the underworld. How very much like the moon in Sagittarius coming after the waning gibbous in Sagittarius coming after the full moon in Scorpio. A lot has been uncovered. A lot has been uncovered over the last 2 weeks as it pertains to the last 4 months. What have you learned? Has it been a teaching lesson? Has it been a wasted time? Has it been a wasted effort? And I hope that none of you feel that way. I hope that all of you are feeling extremely blessed, and it could just be very sensitive. The time being could be very sensitive, as it does recall a lot of your heartfelt, emotional wants, your desires from the beginning of the year. That is always a very emotionally wound up time. And with card 32, the cave, it just means that you could have retreated after going all out, going all in, and then having to so much as to pull back a little bit, right? And you could still be in that moment where you're like, oh crap. Please, clarity on the golden heart, clarity on the golden egg. Some of you could be tending to relationships in a very sensitive manner, where you realize that you've effed up a lot of good relationships along the way. I can attest to that personally. On the other hand, you could be coming out of unfair treatment, and there's still a desire where you want to reconnect, or you want to connect, not necessarily reconciliation, but that you want to connect with others. So this is very much in the mind, and it mostly points to, once again, it's not like a destination, right? Like, it is more you determining a mind over heart, or heart over mind. Maybe looking at how many times you did make more heartfelt, heart-driven decisions versus now you want to make more intuitively led, trying to determine how you're going to come out of a time where you may have felt you were being misled, or maybe where you felt you misled yourself. Maybe finding a way to turn around. A lot of this requiring more logic than actual like physical movement, right? It could have involved major physical movement, but all in all, it's more of the mind that is required right now. Your action is more mental. Your decisions are more logical. Clarity on the cave. Wow. So it looks like you have given something up. It looks like you have given, some of you have given an entire like era up, or maybe what that means is not that you've given up on something, but maybe you did. Maybe you gave up on an entire community with the Hangman next to the Ten of Pentacles. Mercury in Virgo. Mercury is currently in Taurus. So yeah, you're looking at your value in the community, how the community affects your value. The community could be your job. The community could be the bigger collective societal collective, or it could be your local society, your local community, your local town, the people you hang out with at the studio, art studio, creative studio, gym studio, things like that. You could be changing a lot of those habits and routines. You could be going to new places. You could have left the town entirely. You could have moved out. You are moving into a new town, sort of thing. But all in all, the mood is that you have left a lot of relationships that you were tied to, even collaborative. All of this also marks the beginning, because you've done the worst part, which is give up on what blocks, what keeps you. Wow. It seems like you've learned a lot, and now you're coming out of what seems to be a messy time, right? Wow, with the Five of Cups next to the Emperor. The Emperor's at the bottom of the deck. It looks like you will come to find like a true foundation. This is great. The last week could have really illuminated to you that the cracks in the foundation that you need to look at first, foremost, priority, right? And then you can start to backtrack a little bit more or start moving forward. Either way, it does involve that emotional what was once perceived as a setback, now you can perceive it as hooking back on, latching back on to your path. So it may have become weary, you may have become weary, but you are very heartfelt, heart-centered, meaning that none of this was in vain, even if the relationship was terrible, and even if you feel that you didn't do your best by their side, or vice versa. They may have even expressed this to you, right? Like how there was not a lot of fair treatment, and so it doesn't come without that like ultimate learning experience for both of you. And now get yourself back up, get yourself through it, which it seems like you are now, honoring that it may take a little bit more time with the Hangman right here, the Neptune. You may be in a rush. You may feel like very intellectually, psychically aligned, that you can process this era of your entire life in a week. But it may be that as the next few weeks of spring unfold into summer, that, or wherever you are at, if you're in the southern hemisphere, if you're fall unfolds into winter, right? Like you are coming to find out that your manifestation is becoming very you've done all the grounding, the seeding, and now in the dirt, the seedling is doing it. It's germinating, right? I don't know the proper terms, but you're like fertilizing it, and all of this is part of it. It's messy, and it's the shadow aspect, and it's aligning your foundation properly, patching up what can be patched up, calling the insurance to figure out what else, what needs to be taken care of professionally, right? You are coming out of the dark, out of the portal, out of the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed, right? So there you are. It is a place of potent power, acting both as portal to another realm. And yesterday's was like, hey, you're learning how to shift timelines, and that's just learning how to shift your perspective, your mood, your vibration, your frequency, your voltage, your feeling, everything. Like all of it kind of trickles along, many spinning plates, your mind on many logistics, and many spinning plates, right? Like physically, mentally, emotionally, you're locked in, and then all of a sudden you shift into a new way about you, a new perception, self-perception. It is a place of potent power, acting both as portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. There you are, the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard, yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls us out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend to the fire. You are in the sacred center within, and it is teaching you especially about addressing order, okay? This is alchemy, this is scorpionic, this is Piscean, this is Aries, okay? This is Virgoan, this is Mercury in the mind, okay? We do have Mars in Scorpio, we have the heart center, we have Neptune, very Piscean Neptune, we have Moon in Libra, Aries in Scorpio, as well as Mercury in Virgo, okay? And then we have the freaking cave up in the sacred center within. You are extremely blessed. Congratulations.